possibly work?
Maybe.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2. No, it doesn't say this is the Stanley Parable 2.
This is the...
Oh, nice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so... Hey, resource bucket, yoink!
Up the bucket.
That's mine. Oh, I'm not allowed to... Why am I not allowed to go there? Alright, do we go through the new content anymore? No. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
The aura of
Clear as
jealousy.
day, this broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Stanley, don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Don't give in.
You know how hard it must be.
Yes.
Given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Yes.
You can't hand it over. Oh no.
Oh no.
Getting into name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
I know.
But even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends.
That's not true.
Your relationship is purely superficial and convenient.
Oh, that's
Your
bullshit.
life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object
No.
which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Yeah.
Go through each of them point by point.
Oh.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket. They have changed and evolved over the years.
Over the years.
Have it.
Let him have it. Yeah, me and this bucket are best friends. This is not like the companion cube. Nothing like the companion cube at all.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. Now it's settled.
There we
No
go.
more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet. With
Fuck
all
you.
meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Yeah, exactly. This is the property
All right,
of
I've got a
Stanley.
second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Okay.
See? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Okay, I think that'll be that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stanley and the bucket. Right. What does the executive bathroom have to say about... Whoa! Yes!
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. So there are collectibles. I can't go there.
Stepping in.
Ah, okay, so this does work. This is another ending. The escape ending. You can't go downstairs, probably. No. Well, you can, but you can't actually go there. But I do wonder if I restart the game now, will it still be the Stanley Parable 2? Will I still have the buckets? Will I still... Or do I now have to go to the main... if they restart the game, do I have to go all the way back to finding that new content room again, doing all that stuff, and then... Like, that's a bit... Those balloons. But yeah, you know, like... A lot of things can be different in the sense that maybe... See that there goes the escape, or the escape pod. I mean, you are now leaving. Escape pod bay. But yeah, if the game restarts, does it like restart the entire game, or does it only restart the Stanley Parable 2 part? Because I kind of want to see what else the guy does with the buckets and stuff. Yeah, I don't really know what the meaning of this would be. Like every single... Maybe, I guess the meaning is like every single time you play is a different Stanley walking a different route or something. Escape pod bay. Escape. Ah, there it is. But like if I... Okay, now you actually go... This is new? Shh, don't cry. Yeah, don't cry. Don't cry, Bucket. I'm setting you free from the grasp of the narrator. You'll be okay. You can go on without me. Farewell, Bucket. Leave a good life. That's pretty funny, actually. Okay, it's still the Stanley Parable 2.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it.
Oh no!
Just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
The bucket is actually gone. I sent the bucket away. He escaped. It escaped.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Alright, what if I go...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off, $5,000. So you die and then you still have to pay $5,000. Whee!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
But the bucket is actually gone. No! I set the bucket free.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to...
Oh, the bucket is back.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurines Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Replacement bucket. Nice.
Try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I set him free from your terribleness.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright. Let's actually go to the story now. Let's see if I can find some more figurines. Okay. Trust the completionist instincts. Mission status. Inside this... Oh, wow! Lol, that's pretty fucking cool, actually. It actually tells you where they are. And then it says which ones you found. A private but smelly place for an important... Yeah, okay, so that's, in the executive bathroom. Got that. And, of course, I got the first one in the sequel exhibit. A large room with lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with the stairs. Somewhere with blue... Okay, yeah, I know where that is. Nearby a fireplace. Okay, I guess that's in the original office. Gotta collect them all. Though looks like 427. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. I can't wait for all the lore behind all this. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Who are you? There will be cleaning of this wall required. I want them so much. I want to go home. Stop kidding yourselves. Warehouse access plan. Okay, so large room with lots of boxes. I guess that must be the part where I just died. Stairs, something to do with stairs. There is a staircase down there. Maybe that one. I know where red and blue is. That is when we go through with the cargo lift. And then he goes on to red and blue doors. And nearby fireplaces in the boss's office. Okay. How can you tell you've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? For clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Thank you. Good luck. I love the weird conspiracy behind all this. How can we find them? Bottom text. Whoa. Sorry. Bumped the mic there. Small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There's no memo. Yeah, okay, so... Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the freak up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noises. Data shows that in all likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. It also picked up what looks to be a reverberance of a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads to this? Wouldn't you like to know? What the hell? Dark area behind very warm place. Okay, that must be behind the fireplace in the boss's office. I do love all the creepy stuff going on about this. Do not leave the office before reporting back to any findings. Teamwork and communication are of great importance during this unprecedented time of investigation. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I found the first one, which is in the exhibit, and then the other one in the executive bathroom. Now, there's one in a large room with lots of boxes. That must be when in the cargo lift where I just jumped to my death. Stairs. That must be in the staircase down there. Somewhere both red and blue. That must be after you use the lift to go to the other area. A nearby fireplace. I guess that is in the boss's office. So.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah. Aha! Yeah, there we go. You see?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands.
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine. Okay, so yeah, that was indeed in the staircase. Then the other one was probably behind the fireplace of the boss's office. And for the other ones, we need to restart the game.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Aha, okay, there it is.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay, so the other one was in the large room with all the boxes, so that must be in the cargo area, and then there was one more which was in the red and blue area, which is past that part.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah, okay, so you can go back up, which is something that you couldn't do, so let's see what happens when I go back up.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Okay. The number 3, you say? Okay. Well then.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Oh, okay, so there's nothing here, it's just... So, what about 8? Is this an achievement for 8? Oh no, that's probably when you only for when you enter it the first time.
8.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so... Okay, well, okay. Well, I thought there was something there, but not really. A little bit, but not really. Not a different ending, at least. It's just... You can go back up and then you can go back down again.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley.
I can go back up there again.
Should he demonstrate, Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Whoa. If a light is on, call X914 immediately. I can go here as well.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Give me comfort, bucket!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out. To be sure,
That's not
it
true.
puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself. And he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led
And the buckets.
his metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glory.
Oh, I don't have it
to
anymore.
behold.
Oh, the buckets. Welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and sustained. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness?
Can
Wow.
you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That's a lot of buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I think that's more than 25, but sure, we'll go with 25. A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death for just attempting it. Looks like a drawing from Leonardo da Vinci. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Some deer. And what the hell are they doing? Are they shitting in the bucket? Oh no, it's like a crack in the wall. And there's water falling down, and they're putting the bucket in it, and then they're super happy.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear out of grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh, I guess that's where I go. I drop in the hole, but I haven't finished looking at everything yet. But yeah, normally when you beat the game, or when you use this ending normally, you get get into a museum with this lady talking. And and the museum is about the development of the Stanley Parable. The stress bucket, an analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Presented without commentary. Okay, and there was nothing. Yeah, there's nothing else. Everything else is closed off. Okay, so I guess we jump in the hole now. Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. In the original one, she tells you she encourages you to restart the game because that's like your only true choice to make or whatever. And here, she does the opposite. She's like, yeah, no, let Stanley die, don't reset.
All of his co-workers.